What is going on, Moon Gang? I hope that you're having a good one. This video will be a stock market wrap up for today, Wednesday, April 21st. In this video, I'll be doing a fundamental and technical update for both AMC and GameStop, and then I'll be talking very briefly about the overall market, and we'll take a little peek at Dogecoin as well. Just so you know, as I'm filming this, the market has closed. AMC closed out the day at 978 and GME closed out the day at 158 and 51 cents. Just so you know where we're at for posterity purposes. Also, this platform that you see in front of you is Webull. The link is in the description below. If you sign up, you'll get a free stock, and if you deposit $100, you'll get a second free stock. All right, so let's kick this off with some of the fundamental updates. This is kind of cool. So the soon-to-be ex-CEO of GameStop, George Sherman, we just got word of what his basically goodbye deal is like golden parachute, 179 million. I don't know if this will really have an impact on the company or the stock or anything. I just thought this was fascinating. I would love to get $179 million to basically get kicked out of a job. So that's what's going on with GameStop. That just came out today. More importantly, I think this one, you're going to like this. This is about AMC. This is from CNA Finance. It is written by the author Joshua Rodriguez. I will make sure to link this article in the description below. It's definitely worth your own, read your own due diligence. I just want to go through some of the highlights. Pretty interesting, bullish article written on AMC. Kind of lays out the certain situation, lays out the main bearish argument. Basically, the Rona destroyed everything. No one likes going to the movie theaters anymore. The hedge funds are super powerful. Lays out the bull case of how actually Rona revived the movie theater experience, and summer's coming. A lot of blockbuster movies are released during the summer, so we should see the bottom lines increase. Pretty cool. Lays out the bear bull case. On top of that, I just want to highlight some of the important things here. Given the chatter on various social networks, including the Wall Street Bets Reddit, retail investors are gathering their ammunition, putting on their armor, and gearing up for war. All told, there's a short squeeze on the horizon. I just liked how this was kind of laid out for us, because some days that's how it feels. I feel like as us, the ape community, the diamond-handed hodlers, it does feel like some days that legitimately we're going to some sort of weird cyber warfare that's playing out on the stock market, psychological warfare. I thought I feel like he kind of gets the culture of this community and the world. The bottom line here is simple. AMC stock represents a compelling opportunity, not only because retailers are sick and tired of institutions playing with their money, but because the company, even in the midst of a pandemic, has been able to maintain financial strength, and because a major recovery is coming for movie theaters. Considering this, the short squeeze is exciting, but the long-term prospects provide even more to look forward to. So right there, talking about both, it is interesting. It's cool. I recommend you check this article out. The author is Joshua Rodriguez. I will link it below. Right here is his name. I will link it so you can read it, do your own due diligence on it. So basically, cool article. And then the GameStop, 179 million. That's crazy. That's awesome. In terms of the most up-to-date short interest numbers, another day in the stock market has come and gone. Another day, and we see higher short interest in AMC. After the market closed today, up 0.36%. This is one of the, least amount of jumps we've seen in a bit, but that's because coming into today, the utilization was 100%. So what that means is the fact that the short interest change by the net change was another 540,000 shares. Those shares were not being lent yesterday. They were newly lent today, and then they were right away put on loan. So as long as our utilization stays this high, if your big banks, big pension funds, big hedge funds aren't offering their shares of AMC if they own them, it's going to be tough to push the short interest higher and higher, because AMC right now is the definition of hard to borrow, hence why the cost to borrow is so high. So anyway, the current short interest is estimated to be around 23.34%. Utilization is 100% or the very high 99s. And right now the shares on loan are about 152.5 million shares. I was just saying that the cost to borrow is sky high. As of yesterday, it was around 18.8%. If we're taking a look at Fintel, they're saying today it was around 26.68%. It is sky high. Just to give you a little bit of a reference point, GameStop, another one that has a short interest around 28.83%, that cost to borrow is around 1.85%. So like, I mean, it's more than 10 times greater to short AMC at this moment in time than GameStop. GME short interest actually dropped by 0.32% today. The borrow change, there was a net return, which means that the shares on loan are still around 15.5 million roughly. Remember, AMC has a free float of 400 million shares, so that 152 is pretty considerable. GME has a free float of around 45 million, and we're still coasting around 15.5 million. Utilization on GME, very, very different than AMC's. It's around 56.67, and the estimated short interest, I think I already said this, was around 28.83%. As over the past week and a half, GMEs has started to trend upward, and really with AMC, its trend has been consistently upward ever since mid-March. Just every day, slightly higher. That's what we're seeing in AMC, continually uptrend, and now GameStop is once again restarting that trend. We're just seeing it start to bend upward. So that's what's going on with the most up-to-date short interest numbers for both GameStop and AMC. This is all from Ortex. Remember, these values are in no way reported from hedge funds or from prime brokers. Prime brokers are the institution that facilitates the loaning and lending from one to another. Another aspect of their business is to sell their data. That's who Ortex is getting their data from. They have coverage about 85% of all prime brokers, and that includes all major prime brokers. So there is an argument to be made that this 15.75, the 152 million, this is probably accurate. If anything, it's a floor. These numbers could be slightly higher. But the main thing is that this number is from prime brokers, not hedge funds. Another thing I want to talk about, and I talked about this briefly, but I'm seeing it still on Twitter. This short volume, this is for yesterday's data. AMC traded about 27 million shares. The short volume was 8 million. This, to me, is not a valuable data point. Out of those 8 million shares, we don't know which ones are legitimate shorts versus just high-frequency traders or market makers providing liquidity to the market that are in and out within nanoseconds and not really supplying any bullish pressure or bearish pressure. They're just neutral. It's liquidity. And because there's really no way to discern what percentage of this 8 million or whatever the short volume is on whatever day for any given stock, it's dirty data. We don't know which one are legitimate shorts versus high frequency trading shorts. This is why I would say this number doesn't matter. The short volume doesn't matter. The key statistic, I think, are the shares on loan when you're kind of looking at the new shorts per the day, the ones that are on loan, because like really, why would you loan it and not short it? Theoretically, they don't have to, but I would wager that a large percentage of the shares that are on loan are also shorted. So I think this is the most comparable but data point, and this one's a bit more useful. But remember, when you're looking at this at all, you need three values. You need utilization, the percentage of the shares that are on loan that could be lent, the shares on loan, and then the estimated short interest. You need all three pieces of data to tell you the full picture, I guess. All three are important. They tell you something different and they work together. This short volume data is not one of it. It's, in my opinion, kind of useless data. So with all that being said, now let's slightly switch up gears, talk about just some of the technicals. Just so you know, the overall market a couple days ago on April 16th did hit a new all-time high, came down a couple days for 2 days in a row, and now we're already bouncing back. I wouldn't be surprised if this momentum continues higher and higher. My next target is around 420. I think the overall market, very, very real chance it can get there. Just be careful. On the bottom here, we have the RSI, Relative Strength Index. It measures bullish against bearish momentum. When it's very high like this, that's a lot of bullish momentum. It's also considered to be overbought. Something can remain in the overbought territory for quite a while, but there's a good statistical chance that eventually it has to sell off just to give the RSI a chance to cool off. So right now, it does look like the market is strong, but I wouldn't be using all of my firepower at this point in time. I would try to ride it up a little bit, and then if there's a moment of weakness, I would like to buy more. That's my personal plan moving forward. So with that being said, let's take a look at the 30-minute chart for AMC. Right now, AMC is trading, it closed out the day at 978. Over the past week, it is up 4.6%. From a technical perspective, we are now in a region of resistance. From 975 to 1010, this is a very obvious and region of resistance that we've been dealing with for quite a while. So I'm very, very excited for AMC to finally be in here. I want to see how it reacts to 10 to 1010. I want to make sure it holds 975 above 1010. At that point, there's a little bit of a trend line. Depending on how quickly it plays out, it might run into also the resistance at 1050. So somewhere between 1050, 1040. But in all honesty, above 1010, I would feel pretty good about it running to 11. These are just my own opinions. I'm not a financial advisor. Obviously, you got to do what's best for you. But right now, AMC showed some serious strength today. It gained 5.4%. We're now in a region of resistance, and I'm looking for that continuation for the remainder of the week. On the downside, there will be a little bit of support around 940, and past that, we have $9. Speaking of which, now let's move over to GameStop. Over the past 2 days, if you've been watching GameStop at all, it's been pretty boring. Right now, we're at 158. The closest major resistance, I mean, at this point, you could say that this shelf right here will be resistance 164. Personally, I care more about 168. On top of that, we have 185. And on the downside, in terms of support, there's an argument that the region between 153 and 150 is support. If 150 were to break, I would then be watching 153. Just so you know, right now we're trading at 158, pretty much flat on the day. And over the past week, actually kind of the opposite of AMC, it is down 4.8%. So that's what's going on with the overall market, AMC, GME. And now it can't hurt. I know there's a lot of people just having fun with Dogecoin at this moment in time. I guess before Dogecoin, just so you know, as I'm filming this, Bitcoin is trading at 55,000 and Ethereum is at 2,400. We could take a look at them. Right here, I've been watching this trend line on Bitcoin. We are battling it out. I know Bitcoin, the market doesn't really close, but if we were just saying to close the market today, if we use that as our 24-hour period, we did close below this trend line. So I'm looking for Bitcoin to retake it pretty quickly. If it doesn't, I would predict that Bitcoin could fall to the region between 52 and 50,000. If it were to do that, I would be buying more Bitcoin. I'm buying it on a schedule right now, but I'm saying I would buy even more this next time around because I really like that as a region of support. In terms of Ethereum, nice bounce off of 2,150. And it looks like right now, Ethereum is on its way to test its all-time high around 2,500. Ethereum showing some serious strength. And now the one that's getting more attention recently, let's talk about Dogecoin. So after hitting 44 cents, we came down, double top rejection at 42 cents. From there, it sold off, and now we're just grinding sideways. In the short term, we need to break out above 32 cents or break down below 30 cents. Below 30 cents, I'll be watching 28.5, and I'm fingers crossed that we break above 32. From there, 33.5, then 35 cents. Those are the levels I'll be watching on really Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, AMC, and GME for the trading day tomorrow. I would love to get your thoughts on all of these things, everything going on, in a comment below. Don't forget that if you enjoyed this video, it would help me out if you could drop a like, leave a comment. It just helps out with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, don't forget to join up with the Moon Gang by hitting the subscribe button. If you don't want to miss any of the update videos like this or the Monday to Friday live streams, all you have to do is go over to that bell icon, click on it, and switch it to always, and you should theoretically get a notification anytime I post a new piece of content. But in the end, who knows what YouTube's doing, because it seems like on a daily basis, I'm really fighting with the algorithm. But enough of that. We just got to keep fighting the good fight. Just have a good time. Keep talking about good stuff that people are interested in. And really, I feel like at this point, no matter what you're in, you have to have high conviction beliefs and trades. And if you're just diamond handing it right now, I think some of the data that we're seeing is definitely in our favor. So I'm definitely excited to see how this week plays out. From me and Chair and Duck Shirt, best of luck in the markets.